All right, YouTube, what is going on? It is Zaya here from Zaya&TheSteelers back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about the potential Cameron Hayward contract extension. We're also going to talk about Najee Harris a little bit again. And we're going to talk about Arthur Smith. And we're going to talk about the overall topics of why do Steelers fans just hate the Steelers sometimes, man? You know what I'm saying, bro? Steelers fans, like, really, we are the most critical of our players, and Cameron Hayward is a prime example of that. This Najee Harris story that's come out for a little bit is a prime example of that. So, if you guys are Steelers fans or you enjoy NFL content in general, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to the people who have subscribed already. And shout out to the future subscribers, man. Also, shout out to the members. And also, shout out to the Uber drivers, man. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I got at least 3 or 4 Uber drivers in my subscribers right now. So if you are, what's up? And you're watching this video, what's up? Shout out to you guys. And with all that said, let's talk about it, man. So if you guys saw my last video, it was talking about the players I was most excited for going into this season. Cameron Hayward was at the tippity top of that list, not only because he is a Steeler legend at this point, not only because he is the pretty much last player of an era in which we were a competitive team winning playoff games. He's, the last player that remains. And to me, for the last, like, let's say 3 to 4 seasons, this dude has just been getting absolutely slandered, man. He got the injury last year, and then ever since then, we look at the cap hit, we look at our salary cap, and, we got all these cap wizards as fans. Like, they look at Cameron Hayward, and he's just the guy to pluck. They look at Cameron Hayward like he's washed up, and I just can't see it, bro. I really can't see Cameron Hayward being washed up. I know a lot of people out there saying that. I shouldn't say a lot of people, but you guys can see the tweet. We just got a Nick Farbaugh tweet up here, right? If we just scroll through these replies, we got nice, and then, extension means more cap space too. He needs to retire after this year. Was hoping this would happen. He intends on playing 3 years and hurting the team and eating cap space, sitting on the bench injured. Take the vet minimum, bro. This isn't, of course, like, this is one tweet and this is, 4 random comments, but we got a nice split. But the fact that there is even like a discussion of, Cameron Hayward is eating our cap space and he's a negative to our team. Hey man, I just really don't see it. Once again, I feel like his last year play, of course he was hurt, but before that, like, we're talking about him being washed. Fucking win, bro. 2-3 years ago, this dude was chasing down Justin Herbert 60 yards down the field. Like, this was literally just happening. He got the big cap hit number that, he's at now. He got that for seasons played recently, bro. It's not like he got this deal 5 years ago. It's not like he's making all this money from, like, what, 2016 or 17. No, he just signed this extension because at the time of signing this extension, he was damn near the top defensive end in the league. The only person in front of him, and I don't even think he's an end, but Aaron Donald, a guy on the defensive line who we've talked about being the GOAT. Aaron Donald is the own pit, big pit shirt, by the way. Couldn't let that go. Big Aaron Donald, big pit helmet in the back, man. You guys already know what it is. We just got legends over here in Pittsburgh. But you know what I'm saying? Like, Aaron Donald at one point was the only guy ahead of Cameron Hayward. Now, maybe today, May 11th, 2024, Cameron Hayward is not still at that top perennial whatever, right? But at the end of the day, what the hell else are we spending our cap hit on, man? What are we spending our money on right now, bro? We got quarterbacks making no money. We got 15 wide receivers, and 14 of them aren't the best. 13 and a half if Roman Wilson pops out. 11 and a half if Scotty Miller and Calvin Austin pop out. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not paying anybody. We look at our defense. We're paying TJ. We're paying Alex. We're paying Minka. We're paying a bunch of people. And Cameron Hayward has given us, what, fucking 10, 15 years of solid play? Like, yeah, let's pay Cameron Hayward. In fact, call me a hypocrite. You can look me in the eyes, call me a hypocrite. But I remember a similar situation when Big Ben was making all that money and Big Ben was not, playing that Big Ben cap hit number. And at the time I was saying, yo, Big Ben, take a pay cut. And now here we are talking about Cameron Hayward. Maybe I am a hypocrite. Maybe it is different. But to me, like, I don't think Cameron Hayward's play has just been, like, absolutely falling off a cliff. And, we just got to completely get rid of the guy. Like, get rid of Cameron Hayward. Are you kidding me right now? Like, that's just an asinine take. And I don't mean to take those takes seriously. I don't mean to take the trolls seriously. But I wouldn't come on here and talk about, this whole topic if it was just this one tweet and, these 4 replies I've seen. Before this tweet even was a thing, in my last video that I mentioned, I talked about people, talking about Cameron Hayward and, sleeping on him. Before going into this season, low-key, or this last season, I mean, where, the Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky, Mason Rudolph here, like, before last season, I feel like people were kind of down on Cameron Hayward too. And I was I couldn't figure it out, man. Like, people are literally seeing the cap hit. Literally, all right, how can we make money? Okay, well, we can't get rid of TJ. Well, we can't get rid of Minka. Then they see Cam Hayward, like, he's not up there, but guys, he is up there. He really is up there. Maybe, I guess today, whatever, bro. Like, today, as of right now, maybe not. But at the time, a lot of the people were having these opinions, man. Like, Cameron Hayward was up there. And on top of that, he is a big Pittsburgh Steeler. He is a big number 97. Cameron Hayward is the best at his position today, bro. And so, yeah, besides that, the extension, I would imagine we're doing an extension to, like, lower the initial, like, we're doing an extension to kind of lower that upfront cap hit to me. Like, unless this dude's about to just break the bank or whatever, and, he's washed. So how is he going to do that if he's so washed, right? But I expect that, like, the extension is going to lower the cap hit a little bit for us and thus make everybody happy. Like, we get to keep Cameron Hayward and we get to kind of lower that cap hit a little bit is just what I'm thinking. If that is completely wrong and he's just, just eating, like, he's like, fuck it, like, this is going to be my last chance to get a contract. Let's get a contract. He deserved that too. Like, low-key, he deserved that too, man. So whatever is going to happen is going to happen. But I want Cameron Hayward on this team for as long as he wants to play. And we're not winning. Hold on. Like, let me take a deep breath real quick. Because, like, this is the shit I'm talking about. We're not winning a Super Bowl or a playoff game because Cameron Hayward is making too much money, guys. Really? Can we be fucking for real, Steelers fans? I know I got the sweatshirt on, the Zaya&TheSteelers sign, the helmet, the jersey. Like, we know I'm a Steelers fan. I know you're a Steelers fan. Can we be fucking for real? We haven't won a playoff game because of Cameron Hayward? Really? That's it? Really? That's what they're telling me? Like, this is so fucking ridiculous, bro. And so, yeah, like, Cameron Hayward, keep playing forever, bro. Make as much money as you want. We'll find the money. The Steelers are worth $7 trillion or some shit. Like, like, this isn't that big of a deal, man. It really isn't. And so, shout out to Cameron Hayward. I did just kind of want to get that off my chest here. Speaking of that, too, I now have a situation to kind of double back on the whole Najee Harris thing. I'm not going to get too far into the details, but if you guys were on the Twitter over the past couple of days, Najee Harris apparently declined the Steelers. Like the Steelers were like, "Yo, here's the 5th-year option," and Najee and his agent were like, "Nah, fuck that shit." Now I will say Najee's agent came out and was like, "That's not true." I don't think Najee himself has said that's not true. But, the story did happen, and not to piggyback off the story, but I do want to piggyback off the situation of the 5th-year option because I do want to come on here and, kind of not double down, but just kind of clean it up a little bit from what I said about Najee on the Najee video. To me, like I said in the video itself that I was talking about, I would have given Najee the 5th-year option, right? Like, I think that just makes the most sense. It's unless we're gonna work out a big deal for Najee, like, I think it makes the most sense to accept the 5th-year option and kind of just get him under the salary cap at that number, lock him in there. To me, that makes sense, and I would have done that. Now, with that said as well, I am in the camp of, if we lose Najee playing wise, on the field wise, he's a very good player. But I don't think it's just going to drastically nuke our team and we can't, come back from that within a year or two. No offense to Najee, man. Hey, man, let me get a gunshot for that. I know if that's blasphemous, I apologize. And here I am doubling down on the Najee takes. But I don't think, like, we're just dead if we lose Najee for sure. But at the same time, for us to just be like, nah, fuck that. Like, we're not going to do that. Like, a little crazy. It definitely is a little crazy. Because we look at his numbers and, like, we look at the cap hit, and Najee deserves exactly what that 5th-year option would be, if not more. He's going to have a career year this year, has never really been hurt. He's gonna get a bag, man. He really is gonna get a bag, I think. And, whether it's with us, whether it's with a different team, that remains to be seen. I do want to kind of push the narrative now of a story that has been, shot down. It has been confirmed to be not true. But, we have fun over here on Zaya and the Steelers. Let's talk about it, man. So, did Najee Harris, does he want to leave? Is that what it is? Like, let's talk about it, man. So, Najee, of course, the 3 1,000-yard seasons. It is what it is. It looks really good, but we look online, we look on, kind of the Cameron Hayward situation. We got people like me saying, so what? We got people like me watching Najee thrive behind the worst offensive line to ever hit the grass, surrounded by some of the worst quarterback play to ever hit the grass, surrounded by some of the worst offensive coordinators to ever hit the grass. And Najee sees all that, does what he does, and then, like, comes online and sees people like me is like, oh, he's not that good. This is all working in his favor, and he's on the contract year. Running backs really only get paid once. They really only get one crack at it. And so does kind of similar to Deontay Johnson when he boogied out of here because, probably for shit in the past. Is Najee fed up with, how we've done? Like, I know we're turning a new leaf, and I know this story isn't true, but once again, guys, we have fun. We push the narrative. It's not true, but just made up true if it is true. Is this a thing? Like, is he just like, I'm not going to get the most bang for my buck. I'm not going to look the best here. I don't think we're going to move him this year. Like, that would be crazy to move him this year, but I guess crazier things have happened. We got rid of Kenny Pickett. I didn't think that was going to happen. So, maybe we move him this year. Maybe we work something out. But I think it is interesting because how do I want to explain this? I know some people like to get clicks. I know that is a big thing. I definitely don't want to like say that doesn't happen because it for sure, happens out there. Um, but like someone, I think it was like Paul Zeiss or something like someone really just made this up like that. Naj said no, like just fucking like just I'm gonna put this out there and you guys can like laugh at me in the comments like Zaya, you idiot. Like of course people do this is all they do. Have you watched the news ever in past the year whatever? Like are you serious? Like yes, they lie. They get on TV and they lie. They get on Twitter and they lie. Like I have more faith in people, man. I really do. I really have faith in people, and it's just hard for me to imagine that this dude is coming out saying, "Yo, Naj, fuck told the Steelers, nah, we're not doing that shit." Naj's agent said, "Nah, we're not signing that." Like with no basis, with no sources, with no nothing, just literally made it up that day. Like that's a little crazy to me. So I don't want to say it's true. Of course, I don't want to confirm it. I'm not even close to saying that. But I'm also I'm not. Something must be there, man. That's what I'm saying, man. Something must be there, and I'm the big Naj hater, man. I just hate Naj all day, every day. So of course I'm gonna get on here with this fake story about him declining the Steelers offer. I'm gonna talk about it for 5 minutes, knowing that it's fake, but I'm gonna keep doubling down, man. That's just the kind of guy I am. But in all seriousness, I do. I have another point with this too, with Najee Harris specifically. But I would have picked up the 5th-year option for sure. And I think Naj is a fantastic player. And I think he's going to have a career year this year. And on top of that, too, I talked about this in the last video, but not yet here on this one. Naj and Cameron Hayward are very good locker room guys. I love hearing the quotes from Naj most of the time. I love hearing Cameron Hayward talk. I love these guys in the locker room. And I feel like they're good leaders. And then shout out to Steelers takeaway for this tweet right here. We can't be lamenting Steelers locker room leadership issues, then be adamant on not re-upping locker room leaders who can still play at a high level. What this means is we can't be like, why don't the Steelers have any fucking leaders? And then the leaders that are Cameron Hayward and Naj, you got people like me, you got people like, comments on Twitter. Get rid of them, man. Their cap hit is too much. Naj isn't that good. It's not worth it. Like we can't be doing this and then at the same time want people to stick around, want people to like set the example, want people to set that Steel way. We talked about Big Ben fucking months ago when he was on his podcast talking about where did the Steelers way go, man? I don't know. I had the potato. I was going to pass it on, but they kept playing the music, so I forgot to pass it. We talked about that. We talked about Ben being upset that he couldn't pass it along and being upset that our offense is fucking horrible. And then when we got players on the team who are, supposed to be leaders, who presumably be leaders, fucking Cameron Hayward, Walter Payton, man of the year, bro. Like, this is a guy we have on our team. And then we got fans like, nah, fuck that, get out of here, man. Like, get out of here. It's Steelers fans. The other NFL player community, I don't, we're not really talking to you guys right now. I don't know how Ravens fans feel about Cameron Hayward. I don't know how about like Chargers fans feel about Naj. I don't know like what you guys think, but just from me, from my, maybe confirmation bias for you page Twitter, I do see a lot of talk about, some of the players who we assume are leaders in our locker room. We're just like, fuck it, trade them, man. Like all of our leaders, we got to trade them by like, there's somebody who's a Steelers fan who kind of just wants to get rid of a leader on our team. So I think that is a little bit weird. And I did want to like triple down on this point of like Naj as a leader or as a locker room leader, Cameron Hayward too, but we really don't gotta talk about that. But Naj specifically for me, because I'm the one who's like, I hate Naj. I really do like his presence in the locker room. I really think he is an important piece to this team. It's just not like, let's max him out, 10-year deal as soon as he steps back, maybe. And if I'm a hater for that, I'm a hater for that, man. And like, the more I talk about it, the more I sit here and double down and be like, nah, I don't want to sign Naj. Nah, we should sign Naj. Like, the more I talk about it, the more I'm convinced like he's better than what I'm saying. The more I'm convinced that like, yeah, we should just max him out because like, it's hard to explain it, man. It really is hard to explain it, bro. But you guys just got to be locked in with me. I know I've talked about this a bunch, so if you've been a long time subscriber, you have the prior context as to what I'm saying. But it's just the eyes, man. It's just every time I watch the games, and this last season, the running game definitely got better. But the 2 first years, he had the 1,000-yard seasons, and there were a few good games in there. But just the eye test wasn't the best for me. But as far as, taking that away, and I've talked about this now, I feel like for too long at this point, but taking that away, Naj is a great locker room guy. Naj should have got the 5th year option, and Did he decline it? Did his agent decline it? I don't know. I don't want to push, nonsense, but it's out there. And the last point of this video, you ready? Because we talked about people hating the Steelers. Let's talk about this. So the Steelers now have added 4 players this offseason who played in Atlanta for Arthur Smith. Scotty Miller, Cordero Patterson, Van Jefferson, and Mecole Pruitt. There's been a lot of talk about how bad Arthur Smith is, man. There was a lot of talk all last season about how bad Arthur Smith is, and I get it. I was even in those takes. I had a Kyle Pitts on my fantasy team and couldn't fucking figure out why the guy couldn't score any points, man. So last season I wasn't a fan of Arthur Smith, but we fast forward to now. We fast forward to a team that's trying to revamp. We fast forward to a new era of the Steelers. And he's on our team. He is our OC. Like, I'm ready to run through a wall for Arthur Smith, man. I'm ready to go out there and catch passes with him, too. Some of the receivers we have on the team, it's like we got the same resume. So, Arthur Smith, that's what I'm saying, Arthur Smith. So, if you guys need a route runner, you need a catcher, I'm out here. But, yeah, like, people are, I see a lot of people being upset at, like, okay, we didn't get the fucking Justin Jefferson. We didn't get this, like, crazy receiver. But when we look at what Arthur Smith does, when we look at how he has success running the ball. He doesn't have success with, like, a crazy vertical passing game, or, like, having, like, 3 receiver sets or 4 receiver sets. I'm sorry. Like, he doesn't do that and, like, have success. And, like, I know that we want to be this, like, progressive 2024 offense. We want to be this, like, futuristic team and all that. And we would love to look like the Chiefs, or we would love to look like the I don't know, I guess the 49ers run the ball a lot, but they have some creative, like, pass schemes. But you know what I mean? Like, I know we want to look like that. We want to look like some Division II football team that's scoring 80 points a game. And that's what we want our offense to look like after the whole Matt Canada thing. But we gotta, and Arthur Smith, I respect Arthur Smith for this, low-key. I respect Arthur Smith for getting Scotty Miller, Cordero, Van Jefferson, and Mecole Pruitt in here. Because you know why I respect it? Because Arthur Smith got fucking fired. Arthur Smith got fired, bruh. And you know what he done? And slandered and tarnished and fucking chewed up and spit out all the way out, right? That happened. That happened with Arthur Smith. And to get the call, to get another job kind of quick, and to be like, I'm going to keep doing the same shit I was doing, because it does work. It does fucking work. And it's going to work in Pittsburgh, man. I respect that. I fuck with that. And I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing people get upset about we got Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller, man, he's a Super Bowl champion, man. What do we got to talk about? Cordero Patterson, he's, the GOAT maybe. We got Devin Hester and him. Van Jefferson is Van Jefferson. Mecole Pruitt is Mecole Pruitt. Like, I get it. These aren't like the headline and names. But Arthur Smith, like, he's here in Pittsburgh. We've given him the keys. We're hoping and praying. The bar is set super low for Matt Canada. Like, Arthur Smith, do what you gotta do, bro. To me, we can't slander this guy for shit that hasn't happened for us yet. We can say this didn't work out in Atlanta when he was the head coach only and not the OC. But, like, we can say it didn't work out in Atlanta. But now him being able to lock back in as the OC, him being able to lock back in, yeah, he should be able to get, his share of players. I'm sure he had a lot of influence on the guys we got, which is why we got 4 of the guys we got. He's coached these players before. And like, I don't really know what else to say about this other than the fact that I respect that he's not trying to do some new shit or whatever. Like, he's not trying to complete, like, fam, I know how to make pizza. When you come to my shop and you want to buy something, guess what I'm serving? Pizza, right? That's what we have. What we have is pizza. We have pepperoni. We have fucking, I don't know, olives. What the hell else? Bacon. What else cheese? What else goes on pizza? I don't know, right? Don't come into my pizza shop talking about I want some burgers, bro. No, we have Scotty Miller. We have Cordero Patterson. We have Van Jefferson. We have Mecole Pruitt. We have Darnell Washington, tight end number 2, who is probably going to lead our team in receiving because that's what Arthur Smith does. And it didn't work out in Atlanta. They didn't win a ton of games. They won maybe 4 games in Atlanta, right? But we have a way better defense than they have. We have way better quarterback play. I'm hoping in Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, between the 2 of them, I'm hoping we can get way better than Desmond Ridder. If that's a crazy take, then sue me. But I think we can get way better than that. Our running game, I know they have Bijan, but let's talk about it, man. Najee Harris, we talked about a little bit early. 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons, man. He's him. That's big Najee Harris. And we have Jaylen Warren. And so, like, I see this. I can see Arthur Smith having success doing the shit he was doing in Atlanta, because in Pittsburgh, shit is way different, is way better. And let's be honest, man, the Steelers are just better than the Falcons. And we're better than the Titans. Like, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about black and gold, and nobody wants to be on the black and gold and be a loser, bro. You see what we did to Matt Canada. We see what we did to Mitch. We see what we did to Kenny Pickett even, man. Like, this dude was a Pittsburgh legend. You put on that black and gold and you play bad, bro. Get out of here. We're fucking cooking you. And so I know we're crazy. I know we're insane, but to me, we got to give Arthur Smith a chance. Like, I know we're upset. I know we're upset because it wasn't it wasn't the splash play, but we have to actually see the cook through. And on top of that, there still is a chance that we do make a wide receiver trade. So, it isn't the end of the world that we have Scotty Miller and Calvin Austin who pretty much do the same thing. That's not the end of the world. But anyways, that was a lot, man. I feel like that was a lot. I definitely I heard a lot of gunshots in my ears. I was definitely letting it fly there. 20 minutes. What is this video about? Steelers fans, let's stop hating on our own players. Steelers fans, let's stop hating on our new OC who we were begging and pleading for us to get a new OC before it actually happens. Let's wait for the season. Let's wait for the 7 points a game. Let's wait for the tight end screens on 3rd and 10 that don't go anywhere. And then we can slander Arthur Smith. But for now, we got to double down. We got to be hype. And I respect it because once again, I mentioned it, I respect Arthur Smith. In his head, I said this for Matt Canada too. In his head, in Arthur Smith's head, bro, this shit fucking works. These plays work in his head. Like, he's not just drawing up plays and being like, oh, this wouldn't work. I guess this wouldn't work, but fuck it, let's run it anyway. And he's seeing this and he's like, yo, if this happens, X receiver here is wide the fuck open, man. Like, let's just lock in and let's do it. And sometimes it worked in Atlanta. Sometimes it did. Sometimes, it worked in Tennessee. And sometimes it's going to work in Pittsburgh. We just got to work on perfecting it. We got to work on getting, the plays to actually have success most of the time. And we'll be a good team, man. And even regardless, if he's 1% better than Matt Canada, we're going to win a playoff game this year because we low-key almost did that with Matt and fucking Mason Rudolph. So, and no safeties and no linebackers. And we were playing the Bills. And they moved the game. And, we were prepared to play on a Sunday. We didn't play the game till fucking Wednesday of next week, man, because of some snow. The Buffalo Bills couldn't play in snow. Pissing myself off, guys. I gotta get out of here. It has been a nice video. So if you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications. Once again, if you are a Steelers fan or an NFL fan in general, I make videos about the Steelers. So with all that said, this has been Zaya from Zaya and the Steelers, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.